Hi, this is Emily Salguero, editor-in-chief of The Echo, Cal Lutheran student newspaper. Two French majors at Cal Lutheran created a French language newspaper as a class project that was published online in April 2021. Sophomore Ariana Godinez and class of 2021 alum Bailey Hendrix created a publication titled The Gumby in a special topics class called Hot Off the French Press, taught by French Professor Sophie Khadraoui-Fortune. The hope for this project was that it will help foster the growth of a French-speaking community on campus. Our reporter, Carrollyne Aasen, got the chance to connect with these three to learn more about the creation of The Gumby and what's in store for its future.
Hello, my name is Carrollyne Aasen. I'm a junior and a communication with an emphasis in journalism major as well as a Spanish major, and I am a reporter.
Welcome, Carrollyne. So recently you wrote an article about a virtual newspaper called The Gumby. Can you give a brief overview about what this paper is about?
So Le Gumby, as I've come to learn how it's pronounced, is the French newspaper that started out as a class. So the class was a special topics for the French major, which was called Hot Off the French Press, where they learned about the press in France and the history. And then part of their class project was to write articles throughout the year. And they had multiple drafts, and Dr. Fortune was like their editor. And at the end of the year, they culminated both students, because there was only 2 students in the class, they culminated their 3 articles apiece and created a type of digital newspaper on Canvas, I believe. And then it was released to French students spring 2021 and then to faculty this past September.
And they worked on it last semester, correct?
Yes.
And what were some of the sections that were included within the paper?
There was health, society, education.
And can you tell us a little bit more about this French special topics class, if you know?
From what I understand, this class was really understanding the press and it's like how it evolved in France and studying what journalists wrote, how they introduced their topics, like that kind of stuff, like the structural wise, and how to write in French. And then to apply what they're learning, Dr. Fortune had Bailey and Ariana write articles. They could choose whatever topics they wanted. It was really just what they were feeling at that moment in time. So I think one student wrote about Governor Newsom, which was during that time. So what was happening in the real life news, like here in the US, they used to base their articles for the French class.
And why did these students and the professor feel like that it was necessary to create a French publication?
From my understanding, what Bailey Hendrix said, she's now an alum for Cal Lutheran. She was saying that for her, it was important because not only was she learning how to write in French, because she now lives in France, so it was something that she uses to this day. And also for her, I believe she mentioned that there should be a lot of newspapers or content in different types of languages. So for her, it was really important for that. And then also Dr. Fortune wants it to become an annual thing. She wants it to include French-speaking countries, so like our international students or really anything from the Francophone world, which is the French-speaking world. And she wants it to be a very inclusive space so that anyone can submit their own articles or writing assignments from other French classes and just have their voices heard.
And then can we expect to see more issues of Le Gumby in the future?
Dr. Fortune has said that she hoped for it to be every academic year and eventually newsletter, as I said, but I am not sure if the class is being offered this next spring like it was previously, but she does hope that she will get the class again.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Carrollyne. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Here's what else you need to know this week. The Center for Cultural Engagement and Inclusion held a block party in Kingsman Park on Wednesday, October 20th, along with Cal Lutheran's Filipino Club and Hawaii Club, in celebration of Filipino Heritage Month. Our reporter, Isabella Gonzalez, has more on this story. The Kingsman football team lost their homecoming game on Saturday, October 23rd against Claremont Mud Scripps with a final score of 27-0. This marks the team's second loss in a row this season. Our reporter, Leslie Mendez, has more on this story. All stories discussed in this episode can be found online at couecho.com. Thank you for listening.